donate and support to many charitable projects. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Burke.
Two of the worst trades in league history. Cornell? Yes, sir.
Well, welcome to the ex-General Managers Club for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Anyway, it's great to have you back. And you know, Sam's a kinder, gentler Sam Mitchell. You're kind of leaner right now. What's Brian Burke thinking right now? A few weeks after, it's been a whirlwind time. Where are you at right now?
Well, the first thing I'm thinking is I'm glad I didn't have to go after Bill Lee. Second, I mean, this is a special dinner. It's not my first appearance here. These young people are special. It's a special night, so thank you everyone for being here and supporting it. What happens next, I don't know. I think if you worry about it, it's like Sam said. We get, at the first day on your job, you're one day closer than when you get fired. I didn't expect or anticipate this, but that's part of the line of work we're in. I'm pretty sure no one here feels sorry for me. I'm pretty sure there's people that have bigger problems than I have. But I think if you sit there and think who's going to get fired and where you might get a job, that drives you nuts. So I'm working for the Ducks part-time. I have to go to Norfolk, Virginia tomorrow to watch 2 games. I got to go to the World Championships in Helsinki. In between that, I'm going to go back to Afghanistan and visit the Canadian soldiers there and see what happens in this summer.
Maple Leaf team now. 2 young goaltenders playing well that you believed in. Nazem Kadri, who you drafted, playing extremely well.
Keep going.
The turbulence and unlearned were being a factor in the team. A lot of those Toronto Marlies now playing. So as much as you're working for the Anaheim Ducks, talk about the sense and your belief and seeing it, watching it all come together, and then the frustration not being a part of it.
Well, in our line of work, and ignoring half of the room here, our line of work, it happened in Vancouver. The team got sold, new owners come in, they want a new guy. So you do all the work, you set the table, somebody else eats the meal. That's how it works sometimes. And you let that frustrate you, or you can say, well, that's how it works. I mean, Dave Nonis is a real dear friend of mine. I hope he has success. I'm cheering for the team. I know they lost tonight 4-2 in Boston with an empty net goal. We lost 7-0 there last year. So I think the team's well on the way. It's Dave's team, and he deserves the credit. People are saying, you put this in place, you put that in place. That's our job. It's unfortunate sometimes when you don't get to see it through. That's our job, is to do that. I didn't get hired so I'd be here for 17 years. I got hired to do the best I could to fix the team. Nazem Kadri's going to be a real good player here, but that's Dave Morrison's doing, our chief scout. He loved this kid. And what was cool about drafting Nazem was, if you remember, the Ottawa Senators tried to trade for the pick on the floor, and I said to Brian Murray, who are you going to take? Because if he's taking Gordon Stellar for Brian Burke, I'll trade him the pick. Move down one and take Nas, and he said we want Kadri, so I'm drafting. So I think there's a lot of pieces that have been put in place that will allow this team to be successful. I think the Marlies, the drafting and so on, but I'm happy for them. I'm glad they're doing well.
On the grassroots level, that's always been one of your strengths. I think people are surprised that, time around, your guy rides the TTC, chews the fat with people on the TTC, and maybe talk about that connect and what people are saying to you.
Well, I think people think if you're a GM, you're inaccessible and you live out in some crazy part of town in a huge house and you never interact with people. I'm one of 10 kids. I grew up in Minnesota. I'm from a small suburb of Minneapolis. Big thing in our house was each kid had to bring a vocabulary word to the table every night. So every night, one different kid had to bring a vocabulary word, use it in a sentence, and spell it. Sports weren't important in my household. Education was. So yeah, I ride the subway. When I was a GM, I was on the train, the first train at 6 in the morning. I didn't see too many season ticket holders on that train. I'm easy to approach. I have a persona that's different than my real personality, and that's fine. I don't really care if people understand it or not.
Did you bring the word truculence to the table?
I didn't deliver on it. I brought it to the press conference.
I meant to the table at the press conference. To the you had to bring a new word every night, vocabulary.
Oh, I don't remember. Jesus Christ, I'm 57. I don't remember. Maybe that's your life, but not mine.
Now
I'm with Sam too. How come I didn't get Chris Simpson? I get you.
That's something we can talk about later, I guess. Yeah. We'll bring you back. There's year. Maybe that's the way it'll work out. How about in the big picture, the pressures of being in Toronto? You were ready for it. You talked about it being like a Vatican in professional sports, and then there were some frustrations you expressed about some of the pressures. Talk about the experience and the pros and cons.
There was nothing here I didn't expect. You know, like anyone who's here from Vancouver, as the general manager of Vancouver, it's the same thing. You have no privacy. Everybody in the city knows more about running that hockey team than you do. I get in a cab, and the cab driver would say, "Your power play sucks." And I'd say, "Drive faster." And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, you're telling me how to do my job." And I was going to the Patriots game here last year, and the guy was begging for money all that. Told me I was an imbecile. An imbecile is a pretty good word for a bum. I said, "You're a bum." I said, "Today is not the day of my life where I start taking shit from bums." So, that's strong enough. That being said, the place that hockey occupies in the universe here, I wouldn't have it any other way. I love how hockey is revered and exalted. I remember watching the Red Sox game with Theo Epstein when he was still running the Red Sox. And he said, "Is my job like yours?" I said, "You have no idea, Theo. We could walk down any street in Boston and you could go blocks without being recognized. I can't go 10 feet. You have no idea." I was ready for that. And I think the media overall treated me very fairly. There were notable exceptions. I think people know who they were. I think they're idiots. I hope Dave Norris doesn't have to deal with a handful of them. With that being said, I think I was treated fairly, and I think I was given a fair chance to turn it around. New ownership comes in to make a change. I believe ownership has that right. So I love my time here. I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm going to try and haunt this team.
Well, you mentioned about going somewhere. When you came here, the other part you talked about is how it became home for you quickly. It wasn't just being general manager, not just about visiting the military, but you really invested in the city, invested in these charities. I mean, it was a real overall investment, maybe that a lot of people don't realize.
Well, I hope people don't know half of it. Like, if you do charity work for the right reason, you don't do it on camera. Some of the stuff you use the position and the title to generate interest and generate money. And sometimes you bid on an auction item until some cheap bastard drops out at $5 grand and you get stuck with a fishing trip with Eric Winrush.
He's going? You got it?
If you do charity work for the right reason, people don't know a lot of it. There are other things like sleeping out for Covenant House. You do that because the position of the general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs sleeping out. That generates headlines. And it's Brian Burke, attorney. Who cares? So I think it's a combination of using the job the muscle of the job to generate funds and awareness. But a lot of the stuff that I do, no one's ever going to know. And if they do, then I'm doing it for the wrong reason. So I do love the city. We're not moving. We're staying right here and figure out what happens next.